back. So I feel like it would matter more how they play rather than how their rankings affect them.
Yeah. And getting into our first set on stream, we've got SmashBros versus Mercury. Both of these players impressed in pools when we were watching them earlier today. And now it's time for the business side of the bracket. Winner of this is going to go into top 8. So there is a lot on the line between these two players. Mercury, coming from the Philly area, is looking to prove why she is one of, if not the best player in Philly. And SmashBros on the other side, trying to make it kind of an underdog run, already beat Free-K Flock, trying to get another victory on his hands.
Yeah, I believe this is just a button check at the moment, so nothing too consequential at the moment. But I think in more serious terms for how I saw these two out, SmashBros is really good at the long game. I think he's so good at like draining mental states off of people. And like the Free-K Flock set, it was like by the time I got to last out, I just kind of was like, I was checked out a bit because it's like, yeah, I know who's going to win already. Like you see on the player cam, the other side kind of like not wanting to be there anymore. Whereas Mercury, I feel like, was struggling a bit in the pool set. It was like, for sure, Camex was giving her plenty of trouble, but she was able to really step up her game and close it out. And I feel like that's going to be a huge factor if we're talking about how like people get drained by SmashBros. Being able to clutch out those last hit scenarios is huge.
Yeah, and we saw earlier that Mercury, multi-character specialist, was on the Roy against the Sonic earlier, but now on her tried and true Joker in this set. So you're going to see the best of her because she is on her main right now.
Right, and SmashBros, of course, has Lucas and Steve on the Lucas right now, possible Steve on the horizon, but Lucas possibly more likely here.
Yeah, for sure. And the button warmers are done. We are just on our way to be able to enter into this set. It's going to be a good one. Tell your friends that Garden Brawl Top 16 is just about to start, and you do not want to miss it.
Yeah, and I mean, this is all best of 5 territory right here, where we have escaped the era of best of 3. Is going to be all best of 5 from here on out, so the grind has begun.
I love me some best of 5. Let's get right into it. Mercury versus SmashBros, game number 1 on Small Battlefield.
Yeah, Small Battlefield proven to be very popular this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I think when people realized how big PS2 was, they were like, oh, let's just go to Small Battlefield instead. Let's get some scrapping in classic tri-state fashion as well.
Right, and I mean, nothing too big right here. SmashBros does have the lead, but I feel like it very much is a scrapping game right now, and I feel like it's very hard to get good information out of that. We're just like, you could what's up?
No, I was losing it over this combo that SmashBros is doing right now.
I mean, that was very freestyle, and I was talking about like nothing big's happening, but it's like you might want to look at the screen again because that was a big hit.
Yeah, it was definitely a big hit. Now it's Mercury's time to get an answer back, but SmashBros takes it back with the Zaire coming out from the Lucas. And now we're back to neutral. Both players trying to feel each other out in these early scenarios.
And yeah, I was going to say, in these scrapping scenarios, it's very hard to actually adapt in there as soon as possible because it's kind of like almost a random encounter where it's like you don't necessarily know how they're going to react for the longest time because a scrapping situation can sort of provoke different reactions in the human body. So like the different things will just happen on a dime, and you will never really know what triggers the emotions.
And SmashBros has done a great job of racking up the percent. And I was just going to say, how is he going to end the stock? Does it with a PK Fire, getting an early lead in this game number 1.
Yeah, PK Freeze forcing Mercury to get off late and gets off the ledge, though. That second PK Freeze, a little overzealous on that one.
Yeah, I was a little overzealous, but it was very scary. Very close to connecting. Mercury definitely loves the fact that it didn't, but SmashBros is just so comfortable in this matchup right now. Just really rinse and repeating the neutral really well, and Mercury can't get any big opening until then.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you see how this game is going, but I feel like Mercury has a huge advantage on the board right now, not only with our Sen, but I feel like as a player, this is someone that will tend to lose more often than not early on and then bring it back. I feel like this is the kind of player that gets better and better the longer the game goes.
Yeah, definitely somebody who, and that is the sign of an amazing player, somebody who can adapt to what is going on in the situations on the screen faster than their opponent. So even though SmashBros has an early lead, you know, Mercury is definitely somebody who can get back into it. But I need to see the punish game get heightened a little bit faster just because we're not seeing it so far, and Mercury is falling behind.
Yeah, second time that Zaire kind of put her shall I say, over the stage, getting the PK Fire out of Smash Bros. And that's going to be something that had to be adjusted out quickly because that's cost Mercury a lot.
Yeah, it has definitely costed Mercury a lot. Our screen went out for a second. I was losing it, but we are back, and Smash Bros is definitely back, getting another neutral opening. Not much percent, and Mercury gets to take turn with the stage control.
Nah, the Zair saving Smash Bros there. If that was Ness, it could have likely been death, but that Zair going in wonders.
Yeah, the Zair is definitely Lucas's debatably best move. Zair and forward air are such amazing tools in neutral for just beating out the opponent. But Mercury not going to be beaten out there, trying to get an edge guard situation, but Smash Bros smartly goes high there. Mercury was not ready for that.
Yeah, I think like in these situations, I feel like Smash Bros is kind of like doing an all or nothing approach where he's either all in on the, like, well, how close he is on Mercury, or he's kind of zoning out way far halfway across the stage. And I feel like that kind of approach is tricky for Joker, who wants to be kind of like a dash range. And I feel like Mercury's getting tripped up by that right now.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen a Lucas player get 3 stocks in a game, all from PK Fire off the ledge. Like, that is not the premier KO option from Lucas, but just the way that Mercury was recovering just made it so that he can get those time and time again. So that's something that Mercury will definitely need to keep an eye out, but it is, with the angles that you come back from stage, it is a little bit annoying.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Mercury was going high plenty himself, and I feel like that time in particular, it was a different approach, but it kind of failed the same way. And it's kind of like the trap of you do the different things, but they kind of just lose to the same things in the end.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
As this game starts, we're on FD here. I think the first time on our end that we've seen FD.
Yeah, getting rid of the platform, simpling out the neutral plan, and increasing your punish game is exactly what I want to see from Mercury. Oh, but that is not what I want to see. An SD early on in game number 2. Down 1 game in a best of 5. You don't want to be doing that.
Yeah, that's way harder to attack than it looks because the timing is so weird.
Yeah. And almost putting herself out there with when she didn't have to, but I like the fact that she is being brave and going out to try to get an edge guard, but it again doesn't work out for her. Even though she's trying to be brave, like Smash Bros knows how to get those reversal situations and takes advantage of them impressively.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the moment Mercury goes off stage, I feel like Smash Bros already has the plan of what to do, and I feel as though he already kind of knows that how to mess Mercury up. And that's just a huge momentum swing. But Mercury does have Arsene in a 1-2 stock game. And while this is not immediately favorable for Mercury, this is available for data. And this is the best of 5 set. That matters a lot.
Yeah, that does matter a lot, but you've got to be getting as much data as you possibly can. And Smash Bros is trying to prevent that, trying to get another edge guard, but not able to connect.
Yeah, I feel like these low range, kind of like low lag options are really tough for Joker, in fact. I was like, he's such a lanky character with kind of poor out of shield options for his tier. And I feel like that's something that Mercury he adjusts to for sure, but it's still going to be tough no matter how good you are.
This could be it.
No, kind of a fumble on that R7.
Yeah, tried to counter. It tried to use the Rebels guard to get Arsene off of it, but didn't quite get it. And now forces out an air dodge. The forward air is going to take it, and Mercury has a chance for a comeback.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about data, but it's like getting a stock. That's a great way to do it. But I mean, I was talking about that as if Mercury couldn't win, but in the back of my mind, I was always kind of thinking like, yeah, you know what? This is very winnable.
This is definitely winnable, but
that's death.
No, you make it back.
The gun.
Oh, with the max distance up B, Mercury is back and now has to try to get an opening of her own. Arsene coming in just in time. Is this enough for Mercury to take this game? Trying to end it with an edge guard, trying to find a back air, but can't find it.
Yeah, trying to get the quickest way to victory here, the way with the fewest mistakes possible, and the invincibility on that Arsene helps out significantly getting rid of that PK Thunder.
Yeah, I'm trying to counter the PK Fires, using that as the Arsene is fading away, trying to get a downer, trying to get the biggest punish possible. Another PK Fire, another stock for Smash Bros. 2-0 lead.
Yeah, off the tech chase, that's very hard to work with. I mean, I know that Smash Bros. Is having kind of a lot of trouble with his confirms, though. I saw like there were multiple like misconfirms at the end of that stock, and I feel like that might be an anxiety thing, like what if I lose this scenario, which I have my doubts that he would think about that sort of thing, but the thought is just always kind of creeping in there.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing I want to say about Smash Bros. Is Smash Bros. Was not seeded to be in winner's side top 16. Found himself after a free K-Flock victory to be in this position and is now up 2-0, 1 game away from being in winner's side top 8. This is an incredible run from him so far, but he's got to close it out. And Mercury is definitely no slouch when it comes to closing out games. Definitely a reverse 3-0 is in the cards, but has to prove to us that she is the player that she is.
Right, just happened to run it back. I find that interesting. And keep in mind, that game started heavily against Mercury as far as that went. 2 failed edge guard attempts into reversal. So I feel like the way that game rolled outside of those scenarios, Mercury was probably the player that would have won.
Yeah, and that kind of can be alluding to what is coming in this set. You know, somebody who's not phased by being down a stock or doing an SD, you know? If she's not phased by being down a stock, she's definitely not going to be phased down 2 games.
Yeah, she's been around the block long enough to kill herself enough times to be prepared for it.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, another ledge trap opportunity. We haven't seen Mercury get too many options off of that, and a complete reversal down here into forward smash. What the heck, SmashBros? He's definitely proving why he is up 2-0 in this set so far.
Hit her with like the twinkle toes right there and just the stick. I mean, I was talking about how the confirms are kind of being a miss on the later end of that game too, but I mean, clean it up there.
Yeah, and Mercury's game number 1, I don't think got a single edge guard, and we've seen the edge guard play get so much better in this game number 2, and now in game number 3, getting another one is proving why that, you know, she's getting more and more data. And like you were saying, she is definitely somebody who gets better as the set goes on.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can see that as well. And I think like this way SmashBros is improving as far as the set goes is I feel like he's way better at taking advantage of what Mercury is doing right now, because I feel like it's not coincidental anymore. I feel like a lot of the situations might have been coincidental as like as part of the scrap or not knowing, but by this point, it's not coincidental anymore. It's taking advantage of the weakness of Mercury, and that is such a strong aspect of his play.
SmashBros been playing so well right now, trying to get another KO confirm. Nair down tilt, forward tilt is not going to be enough to do it. Trying to find the down air to finish it off. Mercury gets back to stage masterfully, but it doesn't matter. Yes, it does, because Mercury gets to live another life and has a close to an Arsene. This could be a huge swing if SmashBros can't finish the stock off.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the off-stage situation goes high that time. Tricky situation for Lucas, but if you get it right, that's a free stage. And I mean, that's so big in this matchup where I feel like the ledge traps have gotten better for sure. Because like, I know you said Mercury hasn't gotten much off the ledge. But the down tilt just trying to play it safe.
Yeah, I don't know if she was not ready for Arsene to come at that point, but it came at the best point right during a combo, and now Mercury has a chance to finish off this stock despite being down this entire game, could swing the stocks into her favor.
Yeah, we checked the PK Fire. You're just playing ultra defensive, trying to keep as much stage as SmashBros possibly can, while the Arsene is being as scary as it can be.
It's so scary right now. Your shield is so low, and there's so many aerials that you have to avoid as SmashBros. Avoiding it without using shield and getting a Nair up tilt to end up getting the stock advantage in this game. 1 stock away from 3-0ing Mercury.
Right, Arsene was almost out there, but it just didn't matter as Mercury just, escapes. I mean, that situation could happen a lot where you're trying to get someone and it kind of reverses out because they escaped the ground earlier, and then eventually it becomes, oh wait, I'm in trouble now, and Mercury got out of that nicely, converted, and now it's an even game again.
It is an even game, but Mercury is the first one to get an opening here. 29% and counting, going for a Rebels Guard in a scrap situation. I respect it, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, I get it, because SmashBros has been very, very on the trigger for a lot of these interactions. So to say, like, oh, you don't want to do that anymore is a good option. But I feel like that was more just because SmashBros kind of missed the move and then realized that, oh, wait, he's going for Rebels Guard, and then just got the advantage anyways.
Yeah, edge guard opportunity here. SmashBros swinging out of the corner. Not going to have a lot of edge guard opportunities left, but Lucas's up B goes so far all the way in the bottom blast and still makes it back.
Yeah, no matter how far you think it goes farther.
Yeah, for sure.
The down, kind of forcing it in an awkward situation. Definitely not what Mercury would have wanted, though. That was just guaranteed if it hit the bike.
Yeah, for sure. Trying to go for the counter, just calling out SmashBros on being aggressive. It's like I'm watching the Smash doc when Ken decided to use the counter against PK Chris. Oh my God.
And yeah, you gotta adjust to that sort of thing if you're SmashBros. I did say he's been very, oh no, wrong way.
Oh, that is definitely not something you want to see if you're SmashBros, but he could definitely lock in. But Mercury gives him no time to do it and gets a simple jab down smash to be able to take her first game in the set, but now has to complete the reverse 3-0 with 2 more games in a row.
And I feel like right there, that game is important because like that was the game that Mercury started to really mess with SmashBros' timing as far as aggression goes. And the defensive just wasn't, I feel like, as fine-tuned as Mercury's in terms of getting in. So I feel like SmashBros is kind of in a position where both sides of the gameplay are a bit hampered right now.
Yeah, and that down smash that we're seeing right now that was facing the wrong way, I mean, that could have been the game if it was facing the right way, but just didn't quite get it. But SmashBros won't be too upset because he's still got 2 games to work with, but you would like to see him finish this as quick as possible because you assume if Mercury wins 2 games in a row, the momentum is going to be in her favor.
For sure. And I mean, as I've said before, as I've alluded to, I feel as the momentum is a bigger deal than individual game count or stock count. You can get so much off it. And I mean, even if you're behind and you have the momentum, you could possibly be ahead in some players' metrics.
Yeah. Definitely, and this is a dead even start to game number 1. Mercury gets an opening that's going to lead to a ledge trap situation. What has she got for it? No, SmashBros battles out and gets a punish of his own huge combo.
Yeah, SmashBros is actually really slow to get off the ledge in those situations. I feel like that's not a bad thing because like Mercury's trying to throw out all these immediate hitboxes, SmashBros is waiting down, and Mercury hasn't really threatened the 2-frame yet, so SmashBros is relatively safe just hanging on the ledge like that.
Yeah, we'll see if Mercury eventually starts to adapt to that in the future, but for right now, not threatening that option, trying to get the back air going, trying to find another one. Neither of them connect, but somehow neither of these players are dead.
Neither of them wanted that happening for sure, but SmashBros is able to pick it up with the F tilt.
Yeah, able to pick it up with an F tilt. And now we're back to neutral between both players. What is the KO option for Mercury? Trying to get a drag down up air, it looked like, didn't connect. And now it's SmashBros' turn. The Zaire loops. Oh, not able to connect to anything significant, though.
Yeah, it's out here shooting out of the corner, though. I feel like both these players have gotten out of the corner pretty consistently. They are effective against each other in that aspect. And the Arsene counter, popping in against the PK Fire. You were talking earlier, we were talking earlier really about how much mileage the PK Fire was getting, SmashBros. I mean, hey, time to learn.
Yeah, and that's the adaptations that come in when you are as good of a player as Mercury. And you saw her react to that PK Fire. You know, it's not the fastest move ever. You can definitely react to the startup of it, and Mercury showing why she's locked in because she's reacting to moves like that and getting her kill confirms going. This is looking bad for SmashBros.
I don't think she got hit that entire stock. Remember what I said about momentum? That's the perfect example. Mercury was behind and now like ahead by quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's all about the punish game. I feel like Mercury's punish game wasn't there in game number 1. In game number 2, it's starting to get it there. Game number 3, it's there. And now it's like at full gear in this game number 4. And SmashBros, whose punish game was incredible in the first 2 games, hasn't been as good. Still okay, but not to the standard that we've seen.
That's another missed down smash. Starting to kind of fumble on those ends.
Yeah, I mean, like, just those slight kind of misinputs or whatever they are can kind of add to your mental psyche. Maybe 1 doesn't get phased by you, but if 2 happens, then you're like, is it my controller? Is it me? So hopefully SmashBros isn't doubting himself, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's happening.
Yeah, I see the counter so active. Mercury kind of threw it out early, but it was still able to get past the PK Fire. And I feel like SmashBros is a bit lost here. The scraps aren't there. The defense isn't quite there. The roar read, but that is not going to be a stock either. The F tilt just not hitting his mark.
Yeah, and SmashBros trying to find the stock. The weirdest hitbox of PK Thunder I've ever seen in my entire life, but we got to move on. This set is still going, and SmashBros is looking to make a comeback in this game.
Yeah, that's like proportion right there. You go up, yeah, someone has to go down, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, the combos are coming in for SmashBros. The PK freeze could be it, but the get-up attack is such a good heads-up play there from Mercury.
Yeah, I mean, it looks obvious, but it's like it's so easy to look at that and being like, oh, he's trying to bait that out. But sometimes you just gotta go for it.
Yeah, get-up attack is sometimes your best option, you know, and that's the top player knows that.
The ledge trump, but SmashBros got it time. Remember what I said about being slow in the ledge? That was Mercury's attempt to take advantage of it, and that, oh wow, Mercury was behind SmashBros there. That still hit.
I know, but this could be it for Mercury's set. I mean, she's close to dying here. The side B, though, gets it, and now we're going to a game number 5 between these 2 competitors.
Yeah, if you really know how Mercury works, never in doubt, you always know she's got a fighting chance. And we are off to this game 5 right now.
Game 5, this is a perfect way to start our top 16 here at Garden Brawl 2025. I hope you guys are enjoying the action because this is just the start of top 16.
Right, I mean, I think that S-Smash in particular, it's like, that screams confidence to me. Like, that's not something Mercury would have done in any games prior.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't connect, but like you said, confidence is key. Like, even when stuff isn't coming off, if you are confident, you know, you'll eventually get what you are looking to get.
Yeah, like, intention to do something and actually doing something are 2 different things. So it matters a lot if you even bother to do it in the first place.
Yeah. And we're getting into our game number 5 here, and Hollow Bastion is the start of choice, and that is exactly what you want to see if you're a SmashBros fan. getting the Zaire loops into
no
a
tech.
combo and no tech, and that's a huge first stock from SmashBros.
But yeah, Mercury just got dog walked on there all the way from one side to the other and just couldn't get that tech off for the PK Thunder, and now he is behind once again.
Yeah, and SmashBros is looking pretty in this position, but cannot rest on his laurels. Has to continue to step onto the gas, because if you give Mercury an inch, she'll take a mile.
Oh, he certainly is. He is all aggressive right now.
Yep. Just putting out hitboxes, mixing up the timings between the Fairs, the Zares, and the PK Fire. All of them have completely different timings, and you got to be prepared for all of them.
Yeah, and I'm noticing with like PK Fire as well. When SmashBros does one, it's not really just one. He typically throws out multiple, like 2 or 3. That's what I'm noticing. It's like you want to keep up that pressure. You want to keep up the threat. And oftentimes, that's death, by the way.
Jumping into the PK Thunder is not what you want to see of it for a Mercury fan. And SmashBros is up 2 almost completely full stocks right now.
Yeah, he's got Clint Boyer numbers on here, only 33%. That is going to be a mountain to climb.
Yeah, and we're seeing her try to climb that mountain right now, but has a very strong competitor in her way. And SmashBros is making it so hard. PK Freeze, 50% on Mercury. She cannot take too much percent.
Yeah, I mean, although SmashBros hasn't been the most consistent off the ledge, he's been very consistent at getting these confirms as a plate. And even if they don't kill, they're going to kill eventually. And around 110% or so is where I would call, oh no, that's the 3rd time though that down smash is missed.
The 3rd time that down smash is missed, and it's starting to add up right now.
Yeah, we see the attempt at the tiptoes here, and a hardcore attempt at double parry. But
that was sick.
Yeah, it was sick, but it's like the S-Smash got damage up, got stage up, but you would have wanted to kill, and Mercury just could not get it with the character, as PK Fire closes it out just as it started.
I feel like PK Fire was the MVP for SmashBros in that set. How many stocks did he take with that move?
At least 5.
And that set was a little bit of a story about momentum, you know. Mercury looking like she had the momentum going into game number 5, and SmashBros maybe taking a deep breath, saying, you know, going back to his roots, like saying, my punish game hasn't been there in the last 2 games. That's okay. We're going to start strong, put on the gas, and then just close out game number 5, clutching out a victory to make top 8 after not even being seeded. To be in top 16 winner side is impressive. So looking at the replays, we're just going to see how this journey from a potential reverse 3-0 came into a victory for SmashBros. And as you guys are looking at the replays, we're going to start talking about our next set coming on to us, which is Zomba versus Seal.
Right, I believe these two probably have played given their region. Zomba does go to locals every now and then. He is one for the scene, and we did see Zomba just, he had some struggles against Key in game 2, but it definitely looked like he was at a top player mentality. And Seal had a really, really good set with Aloe, ended up clutching it out, and it's great to see her at this level.
Yeah, and Seal is somebody who always has an upset in her. You know, like that's somebody who you see in your bracket path, even though you're seated below them, you're like, I need to be on top of my game, because if I'm not, she's gonna beat me, you know? And she's gonna be looking to make an upset in this set right here. I believe they played before. It's 2-0 in Zomba's favor. But what I will say is that Seal has been getting better and better over the last 2 months. And if she can, you know, get some momentum going, get her combo game going as well, she could be in a good spot to take this set.
I believe so. And of course, like, no matter how much better you get, your competition will always improve with you. Because, I mean, it's just, it's so many people here, it's just bound to happen. And Zomba does seem to be one of those people. Like, if you look at his gameplay from Genesis X to Genesis X2, I almost assure you that there's a massive difference.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I mean, shoot, the way Zomba, I believe, plays with the game now is that he is very cold, if you will. He does not care about like what your opponent's doing. And I feel like while he was super good that in like Genesis X, by the time we hit these modern days, I feel like his punch game has gotten more pronounced, sure, but I think he's more all-rounded. Like, I feel like he's less vulnerable to getting beat up by people that he's not supposed to. It's kind of like the story of, I think when Leffen was starting to get like up to his top level, he was kind of losing to people that might have been perceived to be worse than him or whatever. Yeah. And it's like by the time like next year comes, he was just not losing to them anymore. So I feel like Zomba's consistency has just done so much better. You talked about it like at the ranking spur, the start of the year too. 17th at Kagaribi, worst performance of the entire season.
Yeah.